I just want to make sure we got you guys on. Well, hey, man. Look, so we're already recording, so we'll just get right into it, man. I'm first of all really happy to see you guys, and first of all, you guys are in the same room, and that's like a crazy thing to see.
Yeah, it didn't happen much before.
We've done this. We've done this in the past. Actually, Jayvo reminded me, dude. We did a fucking we did an interview with you in the past.
Not together.
Pretty sure. Yeah, we were in Indiana. We were at his house. I flew out to Indiana to go see him for a few days, and we did it over there. Pretty sure.
How long ago was that? That was like
7, 8 years ago.
About maybe 5, 6 years ago.
I've been with Donna almost 7.
Maybe 6, 7 years ago.
6, 7 years ago.
damn, dude.
Yeah.
That's crazy. So, well, first of all, before we get too far into it, let's just give all the listeners, right, a little bit of introduction, who you guys are. Obviously, some people will probably know you guys from Ink Master, both of you. But for those of you who don't know who these two gentlemen are, why don't we start with you, Robbie? Give a little bit of history, who you are, how long you been in the industry, just a little brief rundown.
Yeah, I'm Robbie Ripoll. I've been tattooing for almost 30 years now, like 28 years. I started as a youngster. Our dad taught me how. I was that annoying kid that was like, hey, back. So finally, after a while, he was like, shut the fuck up. Here's a tat gun. He definitely threw us to the wolves. And so that was, I was 16 as a professional tattooer. I've been doing it, and I'm 44 now, so I've been doing it for a while. Did the Ink Master thing 10 years ago with him. We were fighting. That sucked. Did a lot of cool things in my career. Lost my leg as one of the things that was like cool and uncool. I was at a tattoo convention, was doing a suspension performance. The rope broke due to one unnamed person's negligence. And my leg broke off. And then, 7 surgeries later, they decided, let's cut your leg off. So the 8th surgery was removing my leg. Somewhere along the lines, after Ink Master, I started the Rad movement, which is a motivational platform by tattooers for tattooers. Basically, motivation for people who like the word fuck. And so I opened this studio, Rad Ink, that we're in right now. Opened that 3 weeks. So I got the key 3 weeks before COVID. And we opened the shop during COVID, so we've had this shop running since then. Rad Ink comes from the Rad movement. It's a place for healing. It's a place for growth. It's a place for, discovering your own beauty, so on and so forth. I'm a dad to a 3-year-old and a 24-year-old. And, it's about where I'm at.
That's cool.
Really like white boy reggae right now. So that's...
What is that, like Slightly Stupid and Sublime and stuff like that?
Bumpin' Uglies, Ballyhoo, Slightly Stupid, all those guys.
Yeah, I'm with you. Well, that's good. That's a lot to chew on right there. There's a lot of substance right there. Jayvo, how about you, man? You're up.
I'm like, wow, that was a lot. Hold on, I need to get into my mode. And give them Scott and draw things with like color them in. Yay. And I'm not a criminal, but I play one on TV. I always like saying that shit. I think I'm not a gangster, but I play one on TV.
Yeah, P Thuggy.
Yeah, your program, Peace Silent. That's my homie. That's not me. He looks like me though. He gets all my same tattoos, but he ain't me. I don't know. I didn't have a whole life story prepared. You came in here and just like, whoa. So I'm his big brother. We were best friends for years and years and years, and then we hated each other for a while, and then we finally grew up again now, and we're back together to kind of share our story about how stupid we were in the past. It's really like cliche, but you get something like you lose your leg, or I got a cancer bomb dropped on me last year in September, to make you be like, whoa, we should probably like make sure and find out some things that are important in life. So, we discovered relationships like this, they're the most important. So we kind of got back together and we're putting our heads together, and we always thought, apart we've been really successful, but together I think we're pretty unstoppable. So we're here to kind of like make our announcement that we're back and wash the fuck out, right?
Yeah, it's weird. Like, I did a lot of traveling beginning of the year, and I had some libations on the plane, and I was texting him and fucking watching The Wild Robot and crying on the fucking plane, which is actually one of my favorite things to do. I love crying on planes, and I love crying at the gym on cardio machines. I don't know why those are two awesome places for me to be. That I can stop their emotions. But I was texting him. I'm like, yo, I really fucking miss you, dog. And then the next day, he's like, yo, come and fucking pick up these car parts with me. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm so beat. And he was like real dead ass on like not letting me not go. So we did. And it was one of the best,
like 8 hours together that day.
Yeah, and it had like this nonstop conversation. And one of the things that I was so pleased to hear him say that I also said, and I felt a little stupid like before I said it, but I said fuck it. And I was like, dog, like we've always had this weird like twin type of connection, even though we're not twins. And I think it's because we moved a lot when we were kids, and we were like,
yeah, Joe when we were kids. Twins on
Joe.
Whenever one got hurt, the other one felt it.
And I told him, like, I was like, I feel like you're like the missing piece, and I need you in my life. And it's hard to say that to people, especially a dude that like has so much power to hurt you more than anyone because you love him so much. And the fact that like without even skipping the beat, he's like, yeah, I feel the same way. And I was like, whoo, she loves me too.
I mean, some point in life you gotta grow up.
Yeah, and our relationship, I've always been the softer one, and he's always been the harder one. I've always been like, I lean towards light on purpose, and he's more of a shadow fella, and like we need all of it, right? But for years he wanted me to be like him, and I wanted him to be like me. And the weirdest thing is when we got back together this time around, you said every single thing I needed you to say, but I didn't fucking tell you to. The way every time in the past was, all right, bro, now I need you to apologize for this. We need to talk about this and this. And this time I was just like, man, I'm just really happy that you're here. And our relationship it's felt more authentic than the past times. So, yeah. So, yes, watch out because we have that really, the strongest bond you could really have. And I've always hated, like, dude, Frozen, I would fucking cry my dick off. Like, why? Why not play with me? Can't we just build a fucking snowman? Oh, no snowman? Fuck you, bitch. I'll burn down your fucking house. So, like, I mean, so it's like, if you don't want to play with me, well, I'll kill you. So, like, that's not okay. But, now we found our place. So we're like, we actually just enjoy each other, and that's cool. That's really cool. And like, yeah, I just love the relationship that we've found through all this weird shit and all this tough shit.
Well, that's amazing, dude. I mean, really, I'm happy to see you guys together because I know you both.
See you. I feel like I'm talking to a robot or something.
Yeah, I don't.
Shit, like I'm talking to this circle light with a phone in the middle, and I can see myself.
Yeah, I don't know why. I trust you. Trust me, I'm still as good looking as I always was.
I hope so. I wouldn't question that. But
you damn sure, man.
Well, hey, I've known you guys both for a long time, separately together. So, we've spent time together, and I know a little bit about your backstory. But I got a lot of questions, man, because like this is a really inspirational story, especially when it comes to family and just the world the way it is today, and all the division in the world today. I mean, I think it's a really dark place that we live in. It's always been a dark place, but it's even more amplified today than it ever has been. So much division and just separation over people's feelings and emotions, and it's just a crazy, crazy place. And it's really touching to hear the fact that, you guys have put all that bullshit aside and just realized what's really important over everything, which is the fact that, you know, you guys are all you guys got at the end of the day. All this other bullshit doesn't really matter. And you guys have set your differences aside, and you guys are, you know, just deciding to walk through life, you know, in brotherhood like you should be. So I think there's a lot of lessons for a lot of people to learn from you guys. So that's why I've been so excited to get you guys on the podcast, because I saw Robbie's post on Facebook back in March that said you guys were back together. And I was like, what? I was like, what? I was like, because you never thought that was going to happen. I mean, I remember you guys were like bitter towards each other, like for real. And it was like crazy. And like,
We'll talk outside, but you know, convention circuit, you know, we both have our days and we're either feeling it or not, or we would talk shit one day or not talk shit, but like everyone's like, oh man, should I ask him about his brother if he's gonna bite my head off, you know, or are they cool or whatever? But
yeah, I feel I want to apologize to anyone that was ever like, hey, you and your brother, and I'm like, fuck you, he's a pussy, I'll fucking kill you too for breaking up. You know, because like that's one of the balances I have to, you know, keep up with the rad movement. People think I'm supposed to be all love and light because the rad movement. No, man, the rad movement is me living through all the parts of it, and part of that is shadow, and the shadow is hard, man. And I tried to strangle my shadow for a long time, but now I kind of feel like I love that dude. He's scary, but we all need a scary monster to protect us sometimes, you know.
yeah, but no, it's definitely about, we're definitely in a better place all around with everything, and I think that's just important for everyone to kind of step back and think about what really matters and what doesn't. There's so much dumb shit that people are arguing about or at each other's heads about that they don't even know why they even started. They're like, why you guys even arguing? And we're like, you know what? There's not even really a real reason. It's just being stupid. But along with accountability and accepting the fact that we fuck up, and we have to be like, okay, well, you know, I shouldn't have did this, instead of pointing finger all the time. So as long as you can do that and just, you know, figure it out civilly and cordially, it's cool instead of just pointing a finger and blaming each other, which is what we've done for years. So that's where we never were where we were. But you know, it takes a lot of growing independently, and then you come back together.
And it's funny because like when we were on Ink Master, we made the plan to like reenact old fights
too. But it turned out to be fucking fucked up and real.
Right, like we were like reenacting old fights, and then after a fight happened on camera, I'd go up and be like, "Hey man, remember we were doing this on camera, right?" Like, and then like you'd see him like his brain would be fried, and he'd have to like re-scramble and be like, "Wait, oh yeah, you're right." Because like, dude, we were touching really deep.
Yeah, but you don't throw chairs at people.
Like, I touched the chair over. I didn't throw it at you. All right, let's clear that up. I pushed the chair over. I was very angry, and I didn't know how to regulate my emotions, and I reacted in a way that's negative. So
really rad of you, bro. Really rad of you.
Hey, man, it's rad of me that I can say I'm sorry.
It's all good. We're past it.
The fucking chair throw.
I didn't expect a chair, man.
I didn't expect to throw a chair, bro. Throw a lot of chairs at you, honestly, in our lives. Usually, like more around you because I'm mad.
Oh, you got that aim.
Well, no, I don't want to hurt you. I just want to let you know I want to hurt you. It's the human condition sometimes.
do you guys have same mom, same dad, different?
Yeah. Same mom, same dad, and an older brother.
Oh, you have another older brother too.
They were still married when my dad passed away. They were together for like 56 years.
Wow, that's cool. That is cool.
Yeah, so raised in the same house, same everything.
Yeah, that's cool. Yeah, so that
whatever. So like I don't know, what 30 or something we started a little.
We used to not have fight real good as kids, but we always found our way back a lot quicker. You know, car club days, fucking smacking each other, yelling at each other, this and that, stupid shit like that. But yeah, like when we got to our grown-up times, I didn't think there was enough room for both of us in the tattoo world. If I'm being a piece of shit and honest, if I'm being honest about the piece of shit I've been, I was like, "Fuck you! This is my world. I don't want you here." And I took it very personally that he wanted to be in the world that our father brought us into. And I think it was because my dad put me through more of an apprenticeship and kind of said, "Here you go, Jay, tattoo." And I was like, "Fuck you, dog. That's bullshit." And so, and you were always, and it was me, right? You were always free to decide if you wanted to be in the tattoo world or not. I never wanted to not be. And that was my choice, but I held that against you. It was stupid shit. But yeah, life.
So when Jayvo wanted to become a tattoo artist, you felt threatened by that.
Yeah, probably. I never even looked at it that way. But yeah, I'm sure he did. Like, it was mine, right? Like, in my head. I'm not saying it ever was.
Right.
But like in my head, like you're older than me, and I decided to do this like before you did. You just wanted to be a piercer your whole life. So fuck you. Why are you in my tattoo room, bitch? Like it was so childish.
Right.
But and then we had a very hard time working in the same room together. So like it was a lot. It was a lot. And now I get really sad on the times where I don't get to see him, talk to him. So it's weird how we went from this crazy shit to like, no, that's my homie. That's
called growing up.
Yeah, like that's my best friend, dog.
Yeah,
like,
grow up, that's all.
Like don't you fuck with him,
Yeah.
But I'm sorry for that. So why do you fuck with him now?
Yeah, right. Funny.
So
You said before, Rob, you were like, "Whoa, they're in the same room, they're together, blah blah." And I was just like, "Man, that's cool that you had that reaction," because I'm over here thinking like everyone's gonna be like, "Oh, here we go again. These fucking idiots are doing it again. How long is it gonna last? Is it real this time, or gonna be a stupid?" You know what I mean? So it's like, oh, dude, it's embarrassing. It's like, man, you know what? Sometimes you went out of your way to talk shit and be stupid about it, and now you look stupid because like, oh no, now you got to be his friend. Well, you made me hate him for all these years. Well, fuck you.
Yeah. Well, if you don't like my brother now, well then we can't be friends. Piece of shit. Like what? Like
everybody's confused. It's fun,
but I kind of feel like we've been through some up and down relationships in our lives, and those things kind of taught us how to do this. So here we are. So you see the questions.
Well, no, I mean, it's good. I love the fact that you guys are just being yourselves and just telling the story because it's exactly what I wanted to hear. So it's like, I guess, I do have questions, obviously. Like, I want to know about, specific about Ink Master, like, because it was a rival show. So, like, when you guys applied to be on Ink Master, did you know that's what you guys were going into? Or
I'm sure our stories are very different because, I mean, well, let's face it, we know TV, they do what they do to, get what they want to get.
But I mean, did you know you were going to be on an episode that was about rivals initially when you guys approached the show?
What happened I'll just tell you my side.
I want to hear your side because like
I was on my side. I was driving home from a convention and I got an email saying that from someone that passed my name along to somebody that said there's this new show coming out called Tattoo Titans and we want to interview you for it. And I was like, okay. So I went through this whole interview process with Tattoo Titans, Skype, all these things, all this stuff. It was like a 2-week process. And then they came back at me and they're like, yeah, you're not going to work out for this show. I was like, okay, cool. And they're like, we want to put you on Ink Master instead. And I was like, well, that's cool. Sure. Ink Master's a cool show. I want to
Tattoo Titans. There's like single episodes.
I didn't know what Tattoo Titans was at the time. It just hadn't even come out yet. So I was like, yeah, Ink Master, that sounds cool. Like, I didn't even ever think about being on there. I was like, yeah, sure. So like, all right. So I did the whole interview process and all this stuff over again. And then they're like, okay, well now we need a rival. And I was like, well, that's unfortunate because I don't have any rivals. Because I didn't bring it up. I didn't want to do it. I didn't want to bring the family drama on TV. I didn't want to do any of that. So I did what everyone else did. Called a couple friends, said, hey guys, let's make up a story. So everyone's like, all right, Ink Master's going to call you. Ink Master ended up calling all those people. They didn't use any of them, and they said, hey, guess what? Do you have a brother? And I was like, fuck you. How'd you know I have a brother? And they're like, oh, well, we figured it out. I guess he had applied or his name got in front of somebody. I don't know how they found out, but they found out that he was there and that he was my brother. And I was like, yeah, no, fuck you. Absolutely not. It's not happening. We're not doing it. And the conversation kept going back and forth for close to a few weeks, so close to a month, I guess. And finally, they were just like, look, we really like you. Your chances of being on the show are really high. But if you let us use your brother as your rival, we guarantee you a spot right now. And I was like, fuck you. No. And then finally I said yes. So then what they did, as far as what I heard, was call my brother and say, hey, guess what? Your brother's going to be on Ink Master. And he said, you suck. You need to come on here and defend yourself. So
I didn't say that. Actually, I started the aggression. I was battling with possibly losing my eyesight at the time. I had a weird autoimmune disease, and I was in the doctor's office. And through these hard days, as you know, doctor days aren't the funnest, right? You never know what's going to happen. So I'm in the doctor's office. I get a call from Cheryl, and she's like, "Hey, we heard you have a brother, and he wants to be on Ink Master with you." And I was like, "Fuck that piece of shit! I hate that dude." And she was like, "Actually, I said words that I don't use anymore, and I'm not even going to repeat them." But I was very aggressive. And what she goes is, "Oh, Robbie, you're an animal. I love this." So now I'm like, "Fuck yeah, I'm an animal." You know?
great, give them exactly what they want.
Right. And neither one of us knew what the fuck they was going to throw us into, right? So, I'm over there like, "I'm an animal. Fuck this guy." And then I reached out to our mom and I'm like, "Mom, you got to tell him to meet with me beforehand. We got to be cool. We got to talk this out. We got to create a game plan." And he wouldn't. And that just fucking fueled my rage towards him that much more over and over and over again. Then as soon as we see each other at the show filming the first time in the fucking train station, I just whisper him, "I'm gonna kick your fucking ass." I was like,
don't fuck this up for me or something.
Yeah, I was so egoic in it. We were both in our egos about it. But the hardest part for me, look, I didn't want to be on TV fighting with my brother, but then that piece of shit's the reason why I'm on TV. Fuck you, fuck him, fuck this, fuck everything. I'm better than him, so why am I fucking using him to get on TV with? But I was like, but I still want to go on TV, so fuck that guy. And when I say I'm better than him, that was just my angry, egoic mindset. And it was, but that just ties back into the conversation we had at the beginning. I need you. You need me
for that. Yeah, we definitely did.
But
failed.
But in reality, we need each other. And so let's take it out of just our relationship. We need humans. We need other humans. We need community. So if we push away the people that are made the most like us, we're fucking up. And I'm glad we found that. But yeah, found a way around that,
Everything too.
And everything. And now
that this morning to Kim.
Right. And now we're over here we're talking to fucking production teams and we're figuring out things and trying to bring our story the way it needs to be told, not the way it was told. I mean, how about this? Fuck that. It was told the way it needed to be told, but now we get
to tell what's happening at the time.
Right. Now we tell it differently. But yeah, so I was really mad that he was the reason why I was on Ink Master. I tried out for season 2. I was in their database. And then I was gonna go and try out for another season. I think it might have been the season that we were on. And as I was about to get in my car and drive to the interview, I was like, fuck this. I don't want this bad enough to drive to fucking Jacksonville and back today. This is stupid. And then a couple days later, I get that call. So our stories align, and now we're both grown enough. Well, I'm grown enough to accept that you were a major part of me getting on that show. And that's been 10 years for me to be able to say that. You know what I'm saying? So congratulations to Robbie on feeling the healing, But yeah, our story's weird. And we kept, no matter what, it just feels like the universe kept bringing us back together. And we kept colliding.
We always just dumb. We're stupid.
Yep.
Whatever.
So obviously, TV, you came on TV with real raw emotions going into that, and then obviously these producers are gonna, they're just gonna grab right onto that and just freaking take it and run to the bank with it, right?
Well, it's crazy because if we would have played along, I think, and would have fed into that, we probably could have made it to the end and battled it out, because the drama is you can't beat that kind of fucking drama.
No, dude.
It's gold for TV. They love that shit.
We're reenacting a fight, and I get so mad that I throw over a chair. Dude, this was it. Yeah, we fucked up big time, and I was too egoic. I was like, there's no way me and you are going to make it to the end. You're not as good as me, so you can't make it. And that's where I was thinking, and I was so wrong. And dude, there's been times after that where I'm like, I guess that fucker is pretty good at tattoos. Oh, I guess I was wrong. So I had to get over my ego. There was a lot of ego that I didn't realize I was living in. So yeah, it was, you know, there might have been some on your side too, but you know.
So now, despite all of the rivalry that was there and the feelings, do you guys both feel like, because we hear mixed things about Ink Master all the time in the industry, right? Like ups and downs, pros and cons. Do you guys feel like overall Ink Master helped your careers individually?
Yeah, of course it did.
Hugely.
Of course it did. I mean, anybody that says no would be a liar.
Yeah.
I mean, you have to admit that there's nowhere else you can't pay to have 4 million people see your artwork. You know what I mean? You can't get that kind of exposure without a TV show like that. So yeah, of course it is. Now, you know, at this point in time, there's probably 200 plus people that have been on the show. And, you know, once the show goes on and as soon as it comes off, the new season comes on, so you have to work to stay relevant.
Right.
So there's been people on the show that I don't even know who they are.
Right, plenty.
Because they don't post stuff or put stuff out there. I mean, I really don't lean on it. I don't use it a lot. I should.
You will.
I really should. I don't. I haven't. And I've seen other people do it, and a lot of people lean on it, and it works really well. I mean, I definitely will, use it, when I can, obviously. But if you don't stay with it and stay relevant, it just kind of goes away. But it's definitely a huge tool, and it definitely helps for sure.
Yeah, dude. Like, Rob, you met my chick Donna.
Oh yeah.
When we were in Indiana, and I recorded with you. And when we first met, I was a couple months out of divorce, so it was like, this relationship has an expiration date, and she was in the tattoo scene, and she worked at my chamber shop, so she was like anti-Ink Master, super chatty mommy, and I was like, I just kind of led her because she was like, "Oh, Ink Master's corny, you're a fucking nerd." I was like, "You're just some other dumb bitch with big titties, whatever, dog." So like, I just kind of let her say her things about it. And then we did one convention together, and she's like, "Okay, I see Ink Master. All right, valuable." And like now, she has made me so uncomfortable and pushed me so deeply into using Ink Master. But like, dude, I go to fucking Universal. I go to the grocery store. I go to fucking Chili's. I was at Chili's with our brother Michael one time, and he was like, the lady recognized me, and she walks away, and he goes, "You don't see the bitch at Chili's knowing who the fuck I am." And like, dude, it was just so funny. Like, I was in Vegas one time, and this woman that was driving me in the Uber was like, "You were an Ink Master." So like, it has done a lot of things for my career personally. I've leaned into it intentionally. Well, people in my camp have forced me to lean into it intentionally, but it was worth it. And I just had a guy the other day ask me, "How do you stay so relevant?" And I feel like I've done really bad at staying relevant lately. So, but I'm always putting out content. I'm always this. I'm always trying to stay relevant, and that's what I told him. Like, I'm just always trying to stay relevant. And Ink Master is that tether to relevancy, because until the internet and TV die, we are fucking a part of tattoo history in that to that level. Like, we're always going to be tattoo history at this point until TV and the internet die. At which point, who gives a fuck what kind of history you're in? Now you're just surviving because we got to Mad Max this shit. So, I feel like Ink Master was the best decision I ever made. It was one of the hardest decisions I ever made. And it's up there with 2 divorces and losing my leg as far as one of the hardest things I've ever done. But did it pay out? Fuck yeah, and it continues to pay out, like, heavily. Like, dude, we go to a fucking fancy restaurant dressed like this. They start treating us bad. Donna goes, "Huh, you ever seen the TV show Ink Master?" Yeah. She goes, "He was on it." Now I fucking turn red. I get small. I hide. I'm like, and the opposite happens. They're like, "Oh, really? Okay, sir. Let me put the towel over my arm." So it goes from riffraff sitting by the fucking trash can to, "Oh, let me invite you to sit in the chef's table in the kitchen." You know what I'm saying? So like, it changed my life to so many degrees. And when we were you weren't there. You were in Texas. Longnecker threw this premiere party.
Yeah, that they intentionally threw behind my back and didn't tell me about.
I didn't know that.
Oh yeah, then they all talk shit on me. That was great.
I was sad you weren't there. But
I was the only one that wasn't there. No one told me about Texas. Yeah, no one told me that there was a thing in Orlando. So I had me, Clint, Oliver was there. Like, it's Tattoo Nightmares Miami.
Okay. Oh yeah, because they had a premiere that same night. Yeah.
I mean, Hot News was there. Fucking everybody was there. It was a double release for Ink Master, and it was Tattoo Nightmares Miami.
So I feel like you were
and the Tattoo Nightmares Miami was there, and some of us I was the only one from season 5 there because everyone else was in Orlando. They didn't tell me.
I mean, granted, we hated each other. And
we did. So,
but ES came up to me when we were on stage. This is a funny thing. Full circle moment. I just tattooed this band Escape the Fate at the same venue that Longnecker threw that show, and I didn't realize that it was the same venue until I was on stage before the show, standing looking out, and I was like, I've been here before. Holy shit, I've been here before. And ES came over my shoulder and he's like, be prepared for your life to change forever. And it was such like a dark, ominous thing. But he wasn't fucking lying, dude. You know, like Jaden's friends that hang out, when we go out in public, they're like, Robbie, you're so fucking famous. And I don't even think about it. You know, because like I'm saying hello, I'm kissing hands, shaking babies, and they're
shaking hands, kissing babies.
You know, I say it however it comes out. Sometimes it's right, sometimes it's wrong. Everyone knows what I mean. But like, you know, there's times where I'm meeting somebody at Universal, and then Brandon's coming up with me on his Snapchat or his Instagram being like, this famous YouTuber's talking about you. And like, I don't realize who I am, right, to some other people. And like, dude, we're major to some other people. Man, my financial advisor was at the house yesterday, and we were talking about other reality TV stars other people from reality TV, that because that's how the regular people talk about it. So like, I forget. So we're talking, because to us, we're like minimizing everything because it's like, ew, don't look at me. Even though I want you to look at me, tell me I'm pretty, don't look at me, ew. So we're sitting there on my back porch, and you know, we're Googling the other people locally that have been on reality TV that she knows, and I'm like, holy shit, there's people on other porches having the same conversation about me, about us, Googling us. I'm in restaurants, and people come up to me like, my mom is over there Googling you because she swore it was you. You know, like, it's just so, like, this is reality for us, and we're so good at minimizing it because we're afraid to be seen. But like, I read Al Pacino's book recently, and it blew my mind. He had the same feelings that I do. He was like, I am embarrassed about my fame. I feel insecure, was the word he used. I feel insecure about it. And I'm like, the amount of times that I felt insecure when someone comes up and says, you're famous. And I'm like, you're disgusting. Why would you say that? I still use coupons sometimes. But like, the reality is, yeah, in certain worlds we are. And the fucking Al Pacino feels like he's not famous. Bro, he's been in Adam Sandler movies and fucking Dunkin' Donut commercials, and he's Scarface, bro. Like, that guy he's hit it all. But he's a moron with money. He's done all these dumb things. He's just human like the rest of us. Right. So if you look at him for like his real journey, rather than what his journey looks like to us, we're on par, bro. We're all doing the same fucking thing. We're insecure about our fucking notoriety, if you're afraid to call it fame, right? We're insecure about our notoriety. We're insecure about what we've done. We feel like we're not moving the needle when really we're fucking forcing the needle fucking so far in the right direction. And so many people are looking at us like, how the fuck are you doing this? Like, dude, even sitting here taking your fucking treatments and feeling sorry for yourself and like resting and all the things you're going through, you're still doing more than most motherfuckers, because we're still planning a fucking event for you around your birthday to where we can raise money to help you with some of these astronomical fucking bills. Our relationship's gotten strong again. Like, there's so much to cry. I'm gonna cry. Don't do it. Don't try. You don't want to fucking tap into your guarantee to get around with Robbie Ripoll, you're gonna cry. Bro,
Hey.
don't let this motherfucker fool you. We're coming back at 8:45 this morning.
I called him crying this morning.
Yeah.
Right after I called my girlfriend.
But like, you know what?
Babe, come over here and help me. I'm crying. waiting for me, Rob. I'm waiting for my girlfriend to come. I need to cry to somebody.
But the thing is, the fact that you decided to access your emotions this morning with someone who's a safe space to access emotions with is huge fucking progress, because you wouldn't have done this 10 years ago. You know,
Well, you've changed.
Yeah. We tried to do this, and every time we touched too close to emotions, you'd push me away. And then I'd be like, fuck you, you're a piece of shit. Don't you tell me I can't cry. You know, now I'm going to cry some more away from you, dickhead. So, like, you know, you've done so much. Bro, I don't know if you've realized the way that our whole family's dynamics have changed. And I say families and dynamics on purpose. I fucking added S's to those because it's my family. Vanessa, your fucking your second ex-wife, fucking family.
My daughter's mom.
Yeah, there we go. Sorry. You know, I refer to my ex-wife as number 1 and 2. So
She's good. She's good.
She's awesome. I love Vanessa, but like we were afraid to be close with each other because we didn't want to upset you.
Yeah, whatever.
You know,
our relationship was reflected everything else, and everyone else had like skate on thin ice.
right?
How we were.
And like the brunches we've had with our mom and Vanessa and our kids, and that dude, like Christmas Eve was one of the coolest fucking holidays I've had ever. That was such a healing holiday for me because, like, bro, we sat around and cooked Italian food with her mom's recipes with her in the kitchen, and we got to be her hands and feet because she was fucking too beat up to do it. You know, just you saying, I want to be friends with you again, Robbie, has changed so much for all of our lives. So to not notice the progress you've made just by being you, you're doing yourself a disservice, you know? And like now we're moving slowly based on our pace, but this is the first interview we've done together. We've got 2 or 3 more lined up for next week. You know, like, dude, this is just, to me, when I step out of myself and look at it, and I think because you're here, I can step away and look at it a little easier. Man, we're going to change the fucking world for so many people. I've already had people reach out to me, and I know you have too, that have said, dude, you guys being back together is so powerful. Because, like, man, if we could get back together, almost any relationship can fucking be redeemed. Because, dude, I wanted to hurt you so bad in so many ways. And I'm sure the same on your side.
Yeah, everyone goes through that stuff, man. I think,
right?
This, and when I say watch out, you know, earlier, I'm like, you know, we're back together, watch out. I don't mean that in a negative way. I mean, because it's, I think something that everybody needs to go to. Not that everybody needs to go through something traumatic, but just to have somebody say, hey, stop, and say, hey, stop being an idiot. Just sit back, look at things, analyze things, take some accountability, fix what you can. Because, like you said, Rob, when you first started the podcast earlier, the world's crazy. Everyone's at arms with each other. There's so much division. Like, where do you go? If you go to your family or your people who are close, you know, you could have a friend from elementary school that, you know, you've known for 20 years and you guys have fallen out, but if you come back together, it would be really, you know, beneficial.
Yeah.
Bonds that you have with people like that you've known for a long time, that you're close to, or family that you can't get with other people. And like, as the world goes and all the shit's crazy, and like he was saying with TV and the internet and all that stuff and all the distractions and everything, everyone loses sight of what matters. The cars, the money, all the shit. None of that shit matters. None of the possessions. And it's cliche as hell to say it, but it's the fucking truth. Like, none of that shit makes you feel as good as if you can mend a relationship, or, you know, have a good talk with someone, or at a holiday that, you know, you guys all hung out and haven't done in years. Like, it's cool. Bro, it fucking feels good. And it's like, that's the kind of thing that people need. And I think that's the thing that we lack as society right now.
Everybody needs to hop in their brother's Corvette and drive to the weed store together on Christmas Eve. All right, like that's
Dude, for real.
I tried to get into a Corvette before that, and I didn't think I could fit. Well, now I can. I realize I can. So now I want a Corvette too. But dude, it's impressive and it's powerful, the amount of beauty that our relationship coming back together has brought, and the amount of times we dude, stood strong and deflected everybody that tried to bring us back together, because every time it was like, fuck you, don't tell me what to do. Dude, fuck you.
Yeah, I'm sorry.
Yeah, sorry, everyone. Like, dude, and there was dudes, you know, like, dude, Chico would fucking call me and we'd talk, and I fucking cried and be like, fuck that guy, why does he do this to me, Chico? You know, and it's like, man, we're just doing what we're doing. We don't know what we're doing until we figure out what we're doing.
Yeah, don't realize we're talking to all the same people. And everyone's like, you guys are stupid.
Dude, Joey Tattoo acted like our father. Dude, because he would fucking go behind doors with me and be like, this is being fucking stupid, what's wrong with him? And then he would go to you, Robbie's being stupid, what's wrong with him? And like, man, I didn't realize how powerful like the support, even if you're wrong, can go sometimes. And like, Joey did it right, because now we both have so much love and reverence for him. And that's like, it was weird. I always felt like Joey was like, I was touching a piece of you when I spoke to him because you were so close with him. And like, if I could at least talk to Joey about you, then I knew Joey would bring it back to you and be like, well, don't give up on your brother or something. You know what I'm saying? Like, it was weird, but he was a touch point for me. And I hated everybody else that was my friend and your friend. I was like, why can't you just not be his friend?
He's somebody's friend.
Yeah, like, you can't be his friend and my friend. Don't you know how much of a fucking, like, betrayal that is?
It's so dumb.
It's so funny talking about it out loud, because we really were idiots like for way long. And I really believed I was not in the wrong for the longest. And all it takes is like, you know, just looking at what it really was. No, we were both wrong. We were both stupid. It was scary for both of us. But here we are, you know. And dude, if anyone watching, anyone listening, I know it's hard when you have somebody that you can't figure it out with. And if you can't figure out how to figure it out, just please be patient. I really never thought I would get my brother back in my life. I was okay with just not having him anymore because I had to be. And then our oldest brother called and texted and shit. He is everything that we are as far as aggressive goes and assertive. He has a very strong personality.
Very.
And he's built just like us, but he's our big brother, so he scares me. So, like, dude, we had that conversation the other day, and he's like, why would I scare you? And I started crying. I'm like, because you're my big brother. And, like, he was like, oh. And you could see, like, he finally understood rather than just being the big brother. But when he came to me, I feel like he put his relationship with me on the chopping block to help me and Jayvo repair. Because I was mad as fuck at my brother for coming to me and being like, you know, I don't care what you believe in, but reach out to him or like put some good thoughts. And I'm like, don't you fucking tell me he's a piece of shit. Fuck him. If he wants to come talk to me, he's going to come talk to me. And so like I went to like two of my 20-plus-year-old friends, and like one of them with a bottle of vodka. And I was like, I need to talk to you about this, and I need to drink about it. And we spent hours talking, and it just kept coming. And you and me and Donna talked about it, and she was like, you know, you're being this, and I'd be like, don't you fucking tell me, woman, you know. And then I'd be like, fucking wrong, I'm sorry.
He's right.
Yeah, and then, you know, come to find out, I really just needed to reach out, and the biggest thing I was afraid of was you saying fuck you.
Rejection, yeah.
Because every time I reached out to you and you said fuck you in response, it made me want to hurt you so bad. And then, like, I just had to shut up or start cussing at you. And so, like, I didn't know what to do if you said fuck me this one last time in my eyes, you know?
I mean, I've been stubborn for a long time. I mean, it was just...
Well, I didn't have to be a jerk, you know? Like, so the point I'm making is, man, you really can repair relationships, even if you don't know how to. You just have to be patient sometimes. I'm not a patient man.
Mm-hmm.
And we keep...
A little bit.
We keep looking over here because that's where Jayvo's girl Kim is chilling, and like we just keep relating to her because she knows this. So like we just keep looking at her, and she's like smiling like a happy proud mom, you know. and she was around the first time we got back together. We went to Olive Garden for my dad's birthday after he passed. It was like what his fifth birthday, fourth birthday since he's out.
Something like that, yeah.
And our mom, you know, she's a mom, so she gets real horny over seeing her boys together. So, you know, like...
Ew, dude. Happy, I mean?
Yeah, whatever. I say that. Happy, horny, it's the same thing to me. Oh, robot.
Say something, no. To interrupt. Never those words.
Yeah.
I'm horny, never.
She gets extraordinarily excited about all of her family together. And like
That's better.
this one moment where I felt us all catch it, the fucking Alfredo moment. And like, we both, like, the waitress was about to walk away, and in the same tone, in the same, like, everything, we were like, hey, can you bring us some Alfredo sauce for dipping? And like, it was really weird, and everybody at the table just acted like they seen a ghost. And like, Donna had said it, my mom had said it, and like, Kim had said it, and like, everybody just kind of died at the same time, like, oh wow. And that was
anything out of the ordinary. I wanted to dip my bread.
So like, that was when I realized, oh fuck, man, you really are too much alike.
Oh yeah, sure.
You know, and like the fact that we all felt it, bitch, you can't fucking deny everybody feeling this. So get the fuck over yourself and just be the homie, you know. And we are the twins from fucking G.I. Joe. It's the weirdest thing how deeply, deeply connected we both are, and like, you can't deny that forever. So if you've got that relationship out there, just have faith, you know, be okay with it, you know. And it was funny.
Have beefs to me along.
Dude, it really is. And like me and my oldest son, we had weird disconnect. And then it was funny because you and me came back around, and then it was odd that like he came back around shortly thereafter. And I don't know if that was like some energetic thing in me freeing up the blockages that I had that allowed others to come in. But at the end of the day, that's one more piece of power that
I think that's
you
part
have.
of it too. Yeah.
Yeah, like you have immense power, and it used to make me mad when I saw you using your power, because I was like, I want him to use that power with me. But fuck him, he can't be better than me, so I'm gonna work harder. And it was like not just you that I was working against, it was myself mostly. But if I saw you doing something, I was like, I hate that we both have the idea to do the same thing, but I guess I better do it just as good, if not better. You know? And yes, it's weird how it all comes around. And I am just, man, I'm so fucking thrilled at who we are at this point in our relationship. And I know our mom is like real annoying about it, and she gets real like, I'm so happy you boys. And we're like, shut up. But like, you know, I'm also like, when she's not around, I'm like, bro, I really love being around. And you want to hug and cry and talk or something?
No, it's good to hear you guys unpacking all that, because I think a lot about like, I think probably the biggest burden we carry around in our lives as human beings is the failed relationships that we have with other people. You know, like think about like, you know, failed marriages, or like parents that are disassociated with their children, or just business relationships that fall apart because of differences. Or I mean, shit happens all the time, right? Constantly. And sometimes you get to a point in life where you're just like, fuck it, I just want to go live in the fucking mountains by myself and be alone. I don't even want to deal with people anymore. I just can't handle the stress of it. And so it's like, it's crazy when it hits at a whole new level, when it's like, you know, someone that you're related to blood, and like you have those strong connections like that. But it's good to hear that despite all of the differences, you guys can still find ways to patch the holes in the concrete and find a way to travel a smooth road, hopefully going forward, because everybody needs to learn those lessons in life. You know, it's crazy, like what we were talking like earlier, like just how divided the world is today. And like, you'll just sit around and hear people have, like I heard it the other day, I was sitting in a restaurant somewhere and I just was listening, you know, earshot of some people at a table next to me. And they were just talking like how somebody's dentist was like a Trump supporter or something or whatever. And they're just like, I just don't think I can go to that dentist anymore. I can't believe they voted for that guy. And I'm just like you've probably been going to this dentist for years and years and years, and now all of a sudden you just can't go to this dentist anymore because they have an opinion that's a little bit different than yours. You know, it's crazy to me, like the things that people choose to just be shitty towards one another over, like in some ways, you know. I know I have a ton of freaking regret just about failed relationships in my life, and you carry a ton of heavy weight around with you with all that shit. And I know, Robbie, with you and the Rad movement, you know, I think I really love what you've done with that over the years. You know, you've been doing that for a really long time now. You've really stuck with it, and it's really, you know, kind of just developed into more of like who you are as an individual instead of a movement, you know, and it's just, it's resonated with other people. And I think that's the reason why, because it's real and it's raw and it's emotional, right? And so I think once you figure out a way to really dig down past all that core shit like you're talking about, Jayvo, with all that materialistic shit and all these differences that don't fucking matter at all. When you get down to the raw, real emotions of like what drives you apart, it really hits at a different level. And I know you guys said you've done this a number of times now. How do you feel this time is different than the last times? You know, how do you address the critics? Are like, here we go again. What, you know, what do you have to say in regards to like what makes this time the different time?
I mean, for me, I mean, straight up, I was just tell you, it's the fucking the cancer bomb, man. The fucking slap in the face, you know. Like I got told stage 4, you're like pretty much you're gonna die. Oh fuck, you know. And I'm like, man, that just basically straightened my whole life out and put me in the check real easy, real quick. Got real fast to realize what's important and what's not, you know. So that was for me. And I know it's as real as it's gonna get, you know. Plus, also, you know, if you take that out of it, we haven't had the conversations that we've had this time. We haven't spent time, put the time in. We haven't put the work in on ourselves before any of that stuff, and all this stuff has worked up to that, you know. And I think, like I said, just the C bomb just kind of pulled the trigger, and was like, all right, this is it, motherfucker. You know, get yourself do it right this time. And it's all across the board. It's not just with him and I. Just kind of my whole life just went through and talked, you know, if there was any kind of beef or anything that could be resolved or anything, just talk to people and just, you know, like I said, just assume responsibility, accountability, you know, take responsibility for what you did, what you've done, or forgive yourself, forgive others, whatever it takes, just move on and find people and the relationships that are important. And that's it. And I've never done that to this point. So that's the difference for me.
For me, I always came into this specific relationship with a sense of entitlement. Because I always knew I was ready to be his friend as long as he was ready to be my friend. But I wasn't ready to be like, but you did just burn his house down because he says he doesn't like it. So, like, I was a vigilante for my own personal justice, but I went a little too hard. And this time I didn't be like, yo, you got to fucking talk to me about this. We got to straighten it. It wasn't any of that. It was, man, thanks for being here. Hey, I got to tell you this because that's how this thing happened for me. There's a couple things you didn't even know. And, you know, I was holding that stuff against you. So it was like, hey, man, I feel this way, so I'm sorry. But this time, and it is about the cancer too. You know, I lost my fucking leg and he got cancer. Bro, you never know. I didn't wake up that Friday morning thinking I was going to lose my leg, and he didn't fucking wake up thinking he was going to get a cancer diagnosis. So it was like, look, man, do you want your brother in your life or not? Because I watched our father cry with his brother on my dad's deathbed. And I was like, look, one day it's going to be us doing that. So we can either be cool beforehand or we'll cry together on our deathbeds. But like, I'd like to be cool. So once I got over my ego and realized I did have the opportunity to like be cool with my brother, I just had to like clear some old baggage out of the way. Man, it was worth it. And look at all the things I said about how positive our relationship's been for the both of us. That shit wouldn't have happened had I not, you know, just gotten over myself and accepted, hey man, you're not perfect. He was wrong in a different way than you were wrong, but you were still wrong. And man, gratitude. I've been really, man, for years, I'm like, how do these motherfucking gurus keep talking about have gratitude? I don't know what the fuck that means. I'm trying to have gratitude, but I still hate my life. Well, stop hating your fucking life and start having gratitude. And it was just that simple, but it's not easy. So it was like having gratitude for the fact that my brother decided that he's back in my life, putting my ego aside and allowing myself to say, I'm thankful for my brother to be here. Rather than, fuck him, I'm not thankful for him. He should be thankful for me. So like putting the ego aside, And I don't know how much time I got left with him. I didn't know that in the beginning, right? But now with this diagnosis, you never know. And it really put reality in the play. But I could go first. You know what I'm saying? Like, I get a car accident or some shit. You don't know.
Take something like that, you know. But.
Right. But here we are.
Yeah.
And you know, the fact that he is really truly willing to be loving and receptive, and like, yeah, he still makes fun of me for crying and shit, but that pussy was crying with me this morning too, and he admitted it. So you know, I just do it on camera, and he knows it. But yeah, man, I just think it's different because I've finally accepted who I am, and then it made me finally be able to accept who he is, and I don't want to change him. Like when he does things that I don't agree with, a lot of the time now I'm like, you're so funny, dude. You know, because it's a lot of the same things that I do. So when you're over there being rah, 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 I'm like, oh, I just do that over there about this instead of over here about that. You know, so it's like, I can't fucking judge you. We're both this, dude, we're all made from the same stardust, but you and I are made from the same fucking people. And we're really, really, really alike. And that's why it's hard to deal with Michael sometimes because he's even more like us than anyone else. Yeah. So it's like, oh, you're so much like me. You know, like I can't even say those words sometimes, but like, you know, and we figured it out. And I think we're doing a good job figuring out how to continue to figure this out moving forward. And once again, back to gratitude. I am so fucking thankful that I have you back in my life. Like Donna was just talking to Jaden yesterday on the phone, and she was like, they talk on the phone all the time, like two girls trying to fuck. And I'm like, yeah, I don't care. You know, you can make fun of me that we talk a lot. And she wasn't even making fun of us. She was just, I think there's some pride there, you know, because she slept around through some of our hardest shit. And I took a lot of it out on her at times. And she's there for it. She's there for this rebuild. And so, yeah, I think gratitude is the one word, if I had to sum it up into something simple. Just so, I have so much gratitude that my brother's back in my life. And
That's good.
I don't feel like a bitch saying that anymore. And it's weird because I said this to him the other day. Sometimes, like, I'll see something on the internet or somebody will tag me in something with him and I'll be like, ooh, and then I'll remember, oh no, you don't have to dislike, like you don't dislike Jayvo anymore. Like that's not this weird protection mechanism that you have to use. You actually get to celebrate with him now, because it was a habit, right? It was old habit that it didn't celebrate with Jayvo. We didn't celebrate for each other. We didn't celebrate with each other. It was, I'm doing this and I'm running my own race. And if you exceed my race, whatever, I'm going to beat you in the end because I got to beat me in the end. And it'll be fine to beat you too. Now it's like, how about we just run this race together? And it's the amount of fucking stress and worry and pain that it took off my plate has been so cool.
That's way better.
So, yeah, man, the last time we came back around, like there was still this underlying thing that I feel like we both felt we weren't both fully ready to step into who we were becoming.
Well, yeah, you know, also like the other shit going on in our life too, so.
Right. But here we are now, and so yeah, I just think it was time. You know, like it's not time to be dicks. So like it's time to be in love and be in gratitude, because what this world is going through right now is what we needed. You know, like we need the love that the world needs. And now that we're being the change that we want to see, right? Like it's really cool that we got to do this organically in our own relationship. Right. And you said it in the car that day. This didn't happen, actually a different day, but this didn't happen overnight. So this didn't happen in one conversation. So one conversation isn't going to fix it all.
Right.
So let's just keep having the conversations we need to have. But we haven't once like bubbled up at each other. Like you said things I don't agree with, and I'm like, all right, fully agree. Or you're funny, or whatever it is, and then we move on and we figure it out. You know, like I said it to you, I think yesterday. You know,
today actually.
It was. Oh yeah, it was today. I was like, "You're funny," you know? And it's. But you prefaced it with, "I think I might be being a dick," and like you already acknowledged you were being a dick about this. And I was like, "You're funny."
now. Sorry.
But like, you know, our dad was funny the way we're funny. You know,
Unapologetically.
yeah, you know, fucking my one apprentice, Sky, you know, when she was working front desk full time, I apologized to her one day and I'm like, I'm sorry, I don't know how to act every day when I come into work. And she goes, that's fine, I don't take it personally. I just imagine you as an angry unicorn and it makes me giggle and I just laugh at you. So like she taught me a lot in just that statement on you don't have to fucking be triggered by somebody else's shit. Just like, huh, you're funny. And then move on. Because like we're all funny when we're being stupid. So yeah.
Hey, Jayvo, I don't want to get too much into your personal stuff with the C diagnosis. You know, whatever you want to talk about, it's cool. But I heard you guys say you were doing some kind of benefit or something, or what is that you guys are doing?
Yeah, so let me rewind a little bit. So for years, I've always been an advocate for helping, you know, different organizations, things like that. One specifically in our county is an organization called Driven by Heart, and they help women with post mastectomy, surviving breast cancer during the procedure, the whole nine, you know. And I actually met Sherry, who was the founder. She started 15 years ago. She went through it herself, and I was doing a small cover-up tattoo on her. And we started talking, and I found out she had this organization, and she went through the mastectomy and everything. I ended up tattooing her, and I've been working with them for a while now. And you know, the women that come in that want to get the like areolas or like artwork on their on their breasts after they get reconstruction, we work with the charity and help them out with tattoo shops. So I got diagnosed in September with breast cancer, which is crazy because only less than 1% of all breast cancer cases are male. And it just so happened, that Sherry and I have been really good friends and we've been working together. And she actually just like stepped up and she's been walking through this whole process with me the whole time, holding my hand. And now the charity's benefiting me and helping me out, things like that. And it's just been a really cool, like almost just odd, like how it all panned out, fell together, almost like it was planned, or if there was like a reason for it. And now she's stepping down from the organization, and she told me that, and I was just like, that we can't have that happen. We can't close it. So I'm actually going to be taking it over, and going to have the whole nonprofit organization called Driven by Heart. So I'm just going to keep the torch going, and then as long as I can, and pass it on to the next person. But yeah, we're thinking about doing a benefit in the summertime for the breast cancer awareness. I'm actually I'm going to bring a little more of the male side to it because people didn't know that men could get it. I realized that. Obviously, I'm not going to change it and try to take over and be like make it a male female thing because it's not. It's a cancer thing. But just to be able to step in and take over and help spread awareness and help people who are going through it. Now, being that I'm going through it, the emotions, and it's always something that someone's going through or has been through, survived, can understand. So I think it's the place where I need to be and where I can help people. So what we're also part of this is why not use the notoriety that I have and the reach and the social media and TV stuff and all that stuff to help people on a bigger scale, because right now Driven by Heart's just in Brevard County, but we can take it nationwide, we can take it worldwide. There's we can do anything with it, and I think it'd be a waste of a platform if we don't. And obviously, there's other things. Not, Houston, I was a rapper before. I'm an entertainer. I have fun with things. I like to do all different things: TV, music, tattoos, art, anything. But this is just another one of those things. But it's one of those things that can actually help people. And also, I think we'll bring some of the entertainment into it because why not? Like make it fun. What media has done with everything. You can make anything fun. And being from experience now, especially today, it was a rough one this morning when I woke up. Having something like that is cool, and a lot of times I turn to humor, dark humor sometimes, just to take the weight off the gravity of the situation off of it a little bit. It helps me, but I feel like anything that we can do and use our reach for to help others is going to be awesome, and everyone is on board, man. And it's like just the response we got from the couple little things that we've talked about. It's just insane. So I know once we can get out there and hit the ground running with it, man, it's just going to be really, really awesome. And I know there's so many people who are out there to help, even, tattoo wise. just, you know, you can have different, I mean, you can set it up to where you can help people all over everywhere, you know, get other tattoo artists on board. I mean, I know they do it with like the veteran thing, you know, the tattoo therapy guys that are vets tattoo other vets and they have therapy sessions. And I know Robbie even does like therapy stuff with tattoo. Like this, there's so much you can do with all of it. So
Yeah.
yeah, I think it's gonna be really cool, man. We're gonna put all of our heads together and use a bunch of our network and resources to put on a really cool event in our hometown here.
Well,
Hopefully
that's
in the summer. So
I got to take a moment and express something I didn't realize. Like, you just helped me like heal an element of our father. Because you guys always picked on me for being the softie that like trying to help people heal.
oh
And you just like gave me my flowers for being a guy that does that stuff.
yeah, it's
So
good.
that was
Makes it feel good.
that was big. So thank you. You know, that means a lot to me, dude.
Thanks for telling me that. I think
I had to fight back some tears.
well,
no,
well,
I was saying that why not? You know, I mean, like this. Like I said, our whole situation with, you know, I'm still kind of taken back by the way it's worked out. You know,
Yeah.
as much charity and stuff that we've done, and as much help we've given, as much people have, you know, expressed their love for us helping and doing all that stuff. Like I just think it's such a cool thing,
Yeah.
and to keep going on with it now, and to make it even better and help even more, be even cooler. You know, and I think that people who have the opportunity to give back and don't are just wrongdoing themselves. Even because you don't even understand like what it gives you to give back to other people. You know?
Jason Clay Dunn said it the first night we got to Inkmaster. He was like, "This is going to give you a platform to speak your
Right.
truth."
Put your message out. Yep.
I didn't understand exactly what he meant at that time, but like
Yeah, it was different back then.
yeah. And now, like, look at all we get to do because of all the situations we've been put in. So yeah.
Jayvo, is there a website for the organization? So
By heart, yeah, it's drivenbyheart.com.
drivenbyheart.com.
Yep.
Well, hey, I want you to know, man, you got my support. Whenever you get things put together, whatever you need, man, just let me know.
Awesome. Yeah, we're gonna have people tattooing at the event too, doing like breast cancer ribbons and things like that, and you know the money will be donated. We're probably gonna try to see if we can get a bunch of our Inkmaster friends to come. Yeah. So if anybody's listening,
Okay.
come and tattoo.
Yeah, dude.
But those kind of events are neat. We want to do like a big festival thing, like maybe a weekend or a Saturday or something, and just have everything from like, you know, music all day long. We got friends that own gyms, so we're gonna do like some cage fights, tattoos. I want to do an art, like a curated art show. Just all kinds of stuff. It's a big, cool,
Car show.
crazy day. Car show out in the parking lot, food trucks, the whole nine.
My plan is to have a lowrider by then. Sit in 3.
It'll be a fun, man. It'll be something for everyone. And the
Yeah,
kids.
dude, I want to be a part of that, dude. My mom died of breast cancer. My sister's dealing with it right now as well. You know, it's a very heavy hit home kind of a subject for me. So I'm totally there with you, bro.
Set it up, maybe even have you come down for that. That'd be amazing.
Yeah, dude. I mean, anything that I can do to help, man. And my sister's doing, you know, she's done the same thing. You know, she's gotten into tattooing. You know, she's 5 years younger than me. She got into tattooing about maybe 3 years ago. But she's actually gotten an opportunity with a reconstructive surgeon that does reconstructive surgery on breast cancer patients, and now she's doing, you know, areola tattoos on breast cancer survivors, and so she's kind of giving back to the community that way. So I know she'd be probably pretty interested in hearing more about this too. There's a lot of sympathizers out there for breast cancer for sure, you know, and so you know, anything that I can do to help you out, man, dude. I'm sorry to hear about your diagnosis. That's a wild one, man. I'm sure that really caught you off guard for sure.
Oh yeah, yeah.
Caught us all off guard, man. Like completely restructured all of our family's dynamics.
Mm-hmm.
Like it's
Yeah, but I'm sure you're like, breast cancer? What? I'm a dude.
Yeah, wait, hold on, read that again.
we giggled together when he told me about it. He's like, "Can you fucking believe this?" I'm like, "Bro, what the fuck?" Like, whoa.
Even the doctor was like, "What the fuck?"
How did you even make that discovery? Because it's not like dudes standing in the mirror doing like the feeling for lumps kind of exercise, you know?
Yeah, so I hurt my back in the beginning of the year last year pretty badly, and I was going through like this process where I forget the machine, they put you on like a traction machine, they stretch you and all this crap, and like this whole regimen that I was supposed to be on for like 6 months. And like I started having like this pains, like this nerve pains and stuff like down my legs and my arms. And I asked the chiropractor, I'm like, hey, is this normal? He's like, yeah, you got these discs in your back that are pressing against your nerves, so it's kind of normal for you to feel that. So I just kind of dismissed it, and I went on for a few months, and then I started getting real short of breath, and I couldn't breathe, and I was getting exhausted real fast. And I asked him, I was like, hey, is this normal? And he's like, no, you should go to the doctor. So I went to the doctor, and they thought I might have embolism in my lungs, so they sent me to get the CT scan, and I got the CT scan, and they were like, good news, there's no embolism, you're good, but we found a mass. And I'm like, what do you mean, a mass? And they're like, cancer. I'm like, oh, okay, well, what should I do? They're like, go to the ER, and they'll help you start the process and start walking through everything. I was like, okay, so like, what are we talking here? The guy was like, I wouldn't wait till tomorrow. And I was like, oh, so pretty serious. Great. So I just drove over to my mom's and I told her about it. We cried and she brought me to the hospital and that was that. And they told me there was a stage 4 metastatic and they didn't know exactly what it was at first, where it came from. And they did a bunch of tests. And the results came back and it was male breast cancer. So crazy. And it was what they're thinking is like the initial tumor kind of like broke up and spread because when they told me they're like, that's 75% of your bone marrow now. So it's like, it's a serious thing, but there's no like original mass or big tumor. So everyone's confused. And, men can get mastectomies, but I didn't have to because there was nothing there. But it's just been a weird, crazy, fucked up diagnosis and journey. And there's a lot of people that don't still understand it. And even all the doctors and even the medical professionals that I come across, they're always like, wow, this is very different and odd. So it's not something that they've ever seen. It's weird. My case is just like stupid, confusing, and complicated, apparently. So I was kind of taking it day by day and just, winging it, going on. I mean, I've been on chemo for a while. I just took a break and now I'm getting ready to go back on it again for who knows how long. So we'll see. And I was told it was treatable, not curable. So, but I feel like mindset has a lot to do with it. I've been a little weak in that lately. So, just piece that up. And, it's hard to hold strong and stay, positive all the time. But, I think that's a key thing.
Yeah.
Once the morale goes down, the mindset's not there. It's just you go down that deep, dark black hole and you can't come back out.
Yeah, it's heavy, man. That's heavy. But you're right. Mindset, I feel like, is the word that really should dominate most people's lives on a daily basis. If you can,
any situation, anything,
if you can let it. You're right, though. It's a hard one. It's a hard.
It's simple. It sounds simple, not easy. It's not easy to do. Yeah.
But I've had 2 clients back to back last week, both like one of them is a doctor, but also a shaman, right? So I got the dude before her, like reminding me we're the creator of our own universe. It starts in our mind. My house painter, who's a very good friend of mine, sent me this Earl Nightingale video that I've been listening to daily about like whatever you plant in your mind will grow. So you have to plant the good things, not the poison, right? And then that doctor woman, she's fucking amazing, super awesome human. She was really like beating it into me about like being the creator of your own shit and like catching me every time my verbiage was like not serving. And like throughout the whole session, like and then out of nowhere, I'm like, my neck hurts. So she did this whole fucking wild ass healing fucking ceremony with me right after we was done. And it was interesting how I keep getting beat to death with, you're the creator of your own reality. Don't will in things that you don't fucking want. And, those people were a reminder for me. I get to be a reminder for you as you get to be a reminder for me when I'm losing it. But really, like, selfishly, watching you go through this and, like, being there for you in your moments of weakness made me realize, holy shit, man, the fuck do I have to feel weak about? Like, there's so much worse in this world that can happen. These first world problems that I stress about those things don't deserve my energy. And furthermore, I'm the creator. So why am I stressing about that thing? Yeah, it's what we get. It's an old habit. And that was the one client, that's the Dr. Shaman, Sabrina. She's amazing, but like, why do we sit here and believe the bullshit that our brain thinks up? Oh, because it's old habits. So let's break those habits. And the new habit is Jayvo gets to do his whole life the way he wants to do it for as long as he wants to do it. And that's the new energy we need to bring into this. And it's, dude, you're scary. When you get dark, dude, this morning you were like, bro, I don't think you understand the levity of the situation. And I'm like, okay, let me back up. I'm obviously saying the wrong things. Let me reframe how I'm coming at him. But like, the truth is, we have to remember we are the creators. We all create our own realities because we're in this weird ethereal fucking place that doesn't even matter. Like, none of this fucking matters. Yeah. And we're all made up of this weird space dust. And, there could be aliens and reptilians and all this weird shit. So if we just I decide what happens in my life, then we're cool. Because what if we're wrong? Oh, well, then we die anyway. So yeah, I'm really trying hard to push into, nah, man, we got this. Like Jayvo's strong. Like, now I understand why all these people be like, Jayvo's strong, or Bridget's strong, or like everybody like really rallies around the person who's going through it, because that like is a level of universal prayer, right? And we send these wavelengths out to the universe saying, hey, no, this is what's going to happen next. And I feel like with enough of us saying this is what's going to happen next, we get to go to where we've manifested. Yeah. So I did a lot of loving kindness meditation with you involved. And I'd be like, fuck that guy. All right, he's got to be in this loving kindness meditation. I wish good things to happen for him. Fuck him. I wish good things to happen for him. Fuck him. But the truth is, I did the work on our relationship. You did the work on our relationship. Now we get to do the work on your relationship with life. And that's where we need to focus on, instead of, oh, this is hard. Yeah, no shit, it's fucking hard. But we get to move forward and not make it hard. So, yeah.
So completely going to switch gears on you, Robbie. I know you said we're going to get a lowrider, and I know Jayvo's in the whole lowrider scene. What's going on with all that? You guys got like a big lowrider scene down there, or is that just a you thing?
It's a me and Jayvo thing. I love cars because of my brother, and I wish I had.
So he got into a car that he kind of got took for him, and like he's got a lot more money in it than he should. And
is that the pink Cadillac?
Yeah, the pink Cadillac.
Yeah. He knows that if we were talking at the time, it probably wouldn't have happened. So
right.
But I have a car right now that I'm working on, and he's like, I don't want to do another lowrider. I'm like, well, go ahead, let's go. Like, I've been building since I was like 16.
I never did more than just hand him the tools begrudgingly. I wish I would have like gotten in there with him and learned more about the building process. Now I'm more excited to learn about the building process, and I have a 3-year-old, so that's hard to just be like, hey, watch the crazy man while I go play with cars with my brother. But like, I also bought the Cadillac thinking, I'm a grown-up now. Actually, it was a Jay-Z line that like I relate to. No chrome on the wheels. I'm a grown-up for real. And I'm like, no, actually, I want hopping cars, and I'm not a grown-up. If my car doesn't hop in 3-wheel, then why did I put that money in the car? People always honk at me and they're like, oh, beautiful car. I'm like, yeah, whatever. Like, that pretty girl hasn't sucked my dick in years. Like, so I'm like, I hate this car. I want a car that I can hop in 3-wheel. And so, I've had troubles with it. And so now I'm trying to sell it to somebody who's going to look at it as, I really want this car. I think it's great. I want to put my effort and my time and my journey into this vehicle the way I thought I did when I bought. I didn't want to do that, but I thought I did, and it's weird. Like, I ran into a guy that had a Gran Torino one time, and I was like, I really wish I could call my brother and talk to him about it because he had that car. And so like, it was kind of a connection point with him, even though I didn't have him. Kind of like how I got into boxing to get healthy and to connect with my dead dad, and it's done both of those things. But I really want to build this car because it's fun and it'll be cool to like, man, we had so much fun like riding out, you know, hitting switch. Bro, we could just drive around hitting switches and like, that's so much fun. We don't even have to do anything, you know, like go to the Publix and fucking hit 3 and drop fucking pop the car on motherfuckers. I remember we was at Disney one time and this little lady on vacation freaked the fuck out because your Lincoln went 3 and she was like, oh my God. And it's like, fun. Just to like play with it, dude. It's like inner child work for me. It's a very healing thing to like. Big toy. Yeah, it's a giant toy, and you know Donna doesn't get it, but she's never ridden in a car with hydraulics. When she does, I'm sure she's gonna understand. If you've never ridden in a car with hydraulics, it's a different feeling. But once we got the Cadillac wrap, oh boy, does she love driving that hoe. She thought she was the man because everybody, you know, they looking up. Oh, dude, and it's funny. The car guys all tell me I should paint it a different color. The bike guys never imagined that would even be my car. They look at her and they're like, nice car. And she's like, yeah. But I miss the lowrider scene. Lowriders are fun for me. You know, like now that I'm like doing the lowrider stuff and talking about it more, it's all showing up on my Facebook. So the Tampa show, I keep seeing all these motherfuckers hopping and banging back bumper. I'm like, I can't believe this is still a real thing. And I went away from it for so long. So yeah, just fun. It's a connection for me and him, and the Cadillac's cool, but man, ain't nothing like fucking hitting 3-wheeler around a corner or fucking hopping your car and seeing the fucking headlights fucking, you know, going into the sky, you know, like it's crazy cool. It's such a childlike wonder thing for me. That's a lot of fun.
Yeah.
Connection point for us too, so you know. And
yeah, I want to come. I hope you have some of those at your event because I definitely want to come to that and check them out. I love lowriders, man. They're fun.
He's in a car club called Majestic. It's one of the biggest lowrider car clubs in the world. They've been like in the 70s. You got to have a 2-door. You got to have chrome under it. You got to, dude. There's so many like unnecessary rules just to get into this. But like to keep the quality, right? Unnecessary to me, necessary to the dudes that are trying to, you know, uphold the quality standards from the 70s. You know.
Dude, I'm always amazed when I see those cars at car shows, and I'm just like, you go from one to the next, and you're like, who the fuck even thinks to do some shit like that to a car? You know what I mean? Like,
well, just pay attention to detail on the riders.
Yeah, it's crazy.
Nothing else like any other car.
Wasn't there one called Gypsy Rose that's like super famous? And like, dude, deep like engraved everywhere, chrome and gold everywhere, just ridiculously overdone. These guys like they bring fucking mirror pallets to put under their car to show you all the work they've done under their car. I'm like, dog, I just want to drive this thing, hop it in 3-wheeler and hope it don't break a wheel off.
Yeah.
Oh. And these dudes are like, nope, I want to fucking clean this thing with a toothbrush. I'm like, hey man, whatever I do. But you know, I had a neighbor who was fucking picking weeds by hand the other day. Some people prefer to do things a little more attention to detail oriented. And,
it's crazy, you know. It's just like a big canvas, like a big metal canvas. Yeah. It's a work of art, you know.
It really is, dude. The guy that you bought the A-arms from, like following him on Facebook, just watching his journey and watching the things he's building. Like, I never realized how much of an art it truly is.
Oh yeah, for sure,
dude. And he's always been an artist in it. The one regret I have for his life is he never went into creating high-end fucking custom lowriders. Because, like, I mean, he always did, but like,
I've won trophies. I've won for my job. So,
and dude, he would drop all this money, all this time, all this effort, and then when he was done with that car, it would turn into like a desperation sale. He'd be like, "I need to get the fuck rid of this car, and I'll take $15,000 less than I put into it." And so he would, and some dude would come over with a fucking sack full of cash just because he didn't want to put that extra 15 grand into it. And he's like, "Fuck yeah, this car is dope." So like, I've watched him just be this wild artist, like in his car. See, the Monte Carlo, dog, this fucking thing, he painted $100 bill into the fucking clear coat. But then this motherfucker put hydraulics on his hydraulics. I've never seen anyone do it before or after. He had 4 pumps, but only 3 went to the car because the 4th pump went to having the hydraulic rack coming out of the fucking trunk. He fucking hit a switch in the rack. The fucking trunk. And it's like, why the fuck did you do that? I mean, like, holy shit, that's cool. Like, and it's such, like, honestly, I feel like we should start doing inner child work for lowriders. Because I feel like every lowrider guy is just doing inner child work and they don't even realize
Yeah, they
it.
do crazy shit, bro. Crazy
Yeah,
stuff.
dude. Well, part of the next version of my life is getting a house with property and doing healing retreats, starting with people from television, mainly reality. But like, man, just taking the healing that is needing to be done and bringing it to fringe societies, the adult world, the lower art world, the tattoo world, and like helping all of us figure out what the fuck it is that makes us tick, doing some shadow work, and then fucking just loving ourselves and laughing about life again.
I
So,
love that. I love that.
and I get to do it with him now, which like, man, I just wanted to team up with my brother so bad. And
I
I've been
love that.
finding the wrong partnerships.
Wasted a lot of time.
Yeah, we did, and now, we're ready to hit the ground running. We both acknowledge we're very bad at moving forward once we make decisions. So I've been taking the reins and like making sure we keep up on it. Dude, dead ass, with the way he was feeling this morning, I didn't want to do this fucking interview today because I was afraid it was going to push him too far. And I'm packing and moving my fucking whole house. So, like, I'm sure Donna could use my fucking help. And I didn't have this on the calendar, so she didn't know about it. And I get home from boxing, I go straight into a call with another dude. And I'm like, oh, yeah, by the way, babe, when I get off this call, I got to go to the fucking shop and do the same with Rob Smead and Jayvo. Sorry, see you later. And so, like, it's very hard to do the things we want to do, but like we're looking for a fucking publicist, we're looking for a manager. I don't know if it's the same person, but we need somebody to manage the efforts of Robbie and Jayvo moving forward. Because look, there's a fucking whole world full of people that need to hear our story, and
Yeah.
we started a fucking story 10 years ago, and people are like, did they kill each other? Are they friends? What the fuck happened? Inquiring minds want to know. So now we get to bring the Cinderella part of our story, man. The riches part from our rags part. Like the cool part, the fun part. I wanted nothing more than to share about love and togetherness and joy and all this stuff on Ink Master. But I was still so beaten to death, and I was still so deep in my own shit that I didn't know how to be who I am now. So I had to continue to go through all that bullshit and all that fuck shit to come and be the man that I am now. All the fucking shit that I hated, that I didn't want to go through. All the fucking growth that happens in the pain. Fuck you, I want the growth, not the pain. So like now we're at this point where we've gone through so much pain that I feel like the growth is there for us. Now we just get to actually live authentically us and help others do this. So like also, if there's something you don't want to do, come do it, because today is dope. Like the way your spirits I can feel have lifted since this morning. Donna's the best partner because she's like, oh, I had plans for today. All right, amazing. Whereas I'd be like, bitch, why you fucking ruining my life? I had these strict plans and now you're just fucking derailed everything, and I'd fucking sulk about it. But like, she's better at that than I am sometimes. So, but this is so important because the world needs to hear what we have to say. And our platform just ended at fuck you. The judge is saying, well, you lost Ink Master, but you gained the brother.
Yeah.
Such a good one-liner for TV.
For them, yeah.
And we get to lean into that now because it's true now. Because we did find each other.
Yeah, but then they call us both back for redemption, and then they put us at each other's throats again. Like,
I was so young.
They stayed alive, so they wouldn't be there.
They didn't lie to me. They just kept saying, well, you never know. It's Ink Master.
When I got there, they sat me down. They're like, well, first of all, they called me in for redemption, and I was like, yeah, I'll do it as long as I don't have to go back on there with my brother. I don't want to do that shit again. Oh yeah, no worries. We'll just we'll pair you up with someone else. I'm like, cool. Well, nobody knows. They just kind of whatever. Okay, fine, sure. And I said, I'll do it. I should have gotten right. I said, I want to do it. It's him. And they're like, okay. So I get there. I get to the loft. And producer comes in and is like, there's something I have to tell you. And I was like, fuck you.
Wait, you were the hotel?
I already know what you're going to say. Look, put me back on the bus and send me home. I'm not doing this shit. They're like, well, you're already here. I'm like, yeah, no, this is not happening. I told you people I didn't want to do this again. I told you I wouldn't do it with him again. And then you fly me here, you lie to me, and you drop the bomb on me while I'm here, figuring, oh, he's already here, so you might as well stay. They're like, well, yeah, that was the plan. And I was like, fuck you guys. And then I was like, fine, I'll do it. They're like, well, if you don't do it, you're gonna owe us for the plane ticket and for everything because you're here and you didn't follow through with your part of the contract. Well, okay, fine, I'll do it. So I did it, and then apparently I didn't know if they had told him or not, but the way it happened, it just didn't go down very well.
So the way it happened to me, I'm talking to Emily from my season, or I mean an undisclosed person from my season because we're not supposed to share information together. And I'm in the fucking airport, like about to board the plane. And I'm like, she's telling me, like, oh, I went up against Angel, blah, blah, blah. I was like, I hope they don't put me against my fucking brother. And this is the moment where I die. And she goes, they might, boo. I was like, oh. So I'm on the phone with her. I'm at the fucking the airplane desk, and I'm like, hey, can I get the fuck off this plane? Can I get my bags and go the fuck home? They're like, no, sir, we're about to take off. I'm like, ugh. And then fucking so, dude, I was the worst version of myself. I hated myself. Dude, every fucking airplane I'm on, I'm cussing at a different fucking producer, walking through airports, on airplanes, but like, kind of like the person that won't leave their abusive fucking spouse. I'm like, well, you know I'm gonna stay, but I'm real mad for hitting me. So I just kept doing that, and like I get there and I was like, you know what? Fuck this. I already know. I don't know if he knows. I'm just gonna go in there confident, kind, and fucking say I'm not doing this tattoo. Whatever the fuck happens, fuck him. And when I saw you, oh my god, I'm sure you felt the same thing. Like, oh, that seeing red feeling, dude. And then I was like, hi.
I was so pissed. Back said it in my head too. I'm like, I'm not tattooing while I'm here.
Right, I couldn't do it.
There's no way I can sit here and tattoo somebody with all this fucking rage I got right now. And then when they're like, okay, Robbie, you're going first, and he's like, I decided I'm not tattooing. I'm like, motherfucker. Damn it. I just no idea, you fucking asshole. I'm not tattooing.
I was like, fuck him. And then they were like, well, who would you have picked? And then he goes, I would have picked Robbie. He's like, I'm like, oh, I won. Yes, fuck yeah, I won.
They didn't bring right up and Google, you fucking idiot.
I did what everybody's doing nowadays. I took images from the internet, put them together, made a cool thing. There was no way I would have fucking been able to complete that tattoo in 6 hours. I fucking made way too much. But like, oh, dude, wow. You know, like, yeah, and you, like a dumbass, fucking sat there and drew your whole design. I'm like, why the fuck did this idiot do that? You could have just put things together like I did.
See how much better it is when you get along, see?
Oh my god, dude. And then, like, I think you were hanging out with Kyle Dunbar.
He was in the van with me all right there. He was building something else.
And so, you know, he's like, oh, you guys are friends. He's back at the hotel saying he wants to be friends with you and this and that. I'm like, fuck him. He's not saying that, Kyle. He's not saying that. Because if he was saying that, he'd say it to me. He's not saying this to me, so he's not saying that, Kyle. I wouldn't believe that you wanted to be cool with me. I couldn't. Because
not at that point, I wasn't.
Well, then maybe he was mocking me. Oh, man, it was so rough. And then like, after that, the dude that came back, he messaged me on Facebook. He's like, hey, man, I want to thank you so much. I'm like, thank me? You brought me back from redemption and said I fucked up your tattoo. And I didn't understand production at that. Now I understand production. Well, I understand pieces. I still don't understand the whole Wizard of Oz behind the scenes of production. But I'll tell you this much. When I realized I didn't know what production was the day we did the match tape challenge. I had stage fright because we were learning how to use the match tape, and I looked up and there was like 100 people on production, and it freaked me out. There was too many people around us. And I was like, oh, this is fucking weird. That was when I started to realize the levity of what was really happening. And that was 10 years ago. 10 plus years ago. Oh, shit. So to anyone that's watching, hey, life changes in 10 plus years.
Yeah.
Whew.
Well, I've been secretly hoping behind the scenes that you guys would patch it up, man. Because, like I said, I've been friends with both of you guys individually for a long, long time, and I haven't seen you guys together a whole lot in all those years, and I know from my experience with both of you guys that I know you guys love each other, and even when you're at odds, I know you guys love each other. I can just tell when I talk to you guys about one another. So it's really good to.
Fun too, man. Like we're gonna go back to conventions again, and hanging out and do tattoos together, and like it'll be cool. I think it'll be way different, way better than anything that we've done singularly. So,
and we were talking about some like really crazy fucking like luxury tattoo experience concepts that we want to do with people, and like having the collaborative nature of us too. The amount of people that have said, "Oh, I'd love to get tattooed by you guys both," and it's like, wow, that's so cool that we can do that now, because we did it on the show,
yeah, we did.
And you put your ego down way more than I did, and allowed my ego to try. So now, man, imagine if we're both not operating out of ego, how cool we could make things.
Yeah.
Like leaning into what I'm good at, leaning into what you're good at, and fucking, making up for the things that the other isn't good at, and just building and growing. Well, that's true. Yeah, you are. That's why I always hated you.
Yeah, you guys are both just super dynamic people, so it's true. What you guys can do together is way, way more powerful than what you can do individually. Yeah.
Voltron is fuck, bro.
But just I can see the growth, especially Robbie, I mean, tons of growth, dude, over the years, man, and just tons of maturity, just tons of personal, you've dug deep into the person that you are and just really, sorted yourself out in a whole different way that a lot of people just really don't ever even try to make the effort to do. So kudos to you, man. I mean, I've witnessed it, so I've seen it, and I believe you're a much better person than you were in the past, so it's evident, dude. So kudos, bro, really. And just, yeah, I love the energy that you throw out there, man. And I think you got it. You know what life's about, man. We're here on this earth. We're made up of positives and negatives, and we choose what we want to put out there, positive or negative, and we attract that right back to us, positive or negative. And really, in the simplest way to look at it, dude, I really believe that our purpose on earth is to really try to help each other figure life out and be better people. And unfortunately, a lot of people in life really miss that and don't understand the simplistic nature of it. And we really allow our egos to get in the way of that. So it's really good to hear you guys say that and witness that. And Jayvo, dude, I'm sorry that, it caused it took a really serious life-changing illness and diagnosis to bring this, kind of stuff to light. Dude, that really sucks, man. I'm really sorry to hear that about you, dude. I didn't even know about that till today. And so
turn into a good thing. You gotta look at the positives of it. So,
and if you were going through this without us, it would be a different experience for you. And it would be a different experience for me on the outside looking in. Like, honestly, when we started talking again, all I wanted to do was be the guy that you fucking called when you needed the fucking deal. I'm just glad that I can be here for you in a way that you're not comfortable with other people being there for you. This guy, he is our father incarnate when it comes to fucking emotions. Oh man, and it's a good thing I fucking worked my whole life trying to crack my dad's emotions, because now it's way easier. It's way easier now because I'm like, you aren't as strong as Bob. Our dad, in the misery department, he held up in misery and pain. You don't want to be like that. No, we're both as strong as him, but we're trying to focus our strengths into the positives, right? Because we're both shitheads, and we're both really, really stubborn.
Human.
Yeah, human, stubborn, whatever you want to call it. But we're making it, and this is it.
Yeah. Yeah.
And Rob, thank you so much, man, for that acknowledgement, dude. I remember
for sure.
I remember being at your place. One of the incantations of Electrum and the Rob show, and you had just you were starting to put the finishing touches on your new space at that point in time, and it was freezing cold, and I wasn't used to that. And we were in Indiana in the winter, and I remember feeling really insecure I'm pretty sure you felt that. I felt that too.
I think we all felt that way.
Whew, man, and to feel where I sit now.
I remember though, because you were just kind of in the beginning of the rad movement. That was like in the very first stages. You came up here to look at an RV, I think, or I remember
Yes.
you were going around to some of the RV companies trying to find an RV you were
Yep.
talking about taking it on the road or doing something like that with it.
Yep. Yeah, and then 100 days of living out of the car, and then we bought the RV out in California. And throughout the process, I remember meeting the one dude at the RV dealership. He's like, Rob Smead, he sold my parents a house. And I'm like, what the fuck? You know, I was like, bro, were you a realtor? You were like, yep. I was like, no fucking way, we're in a small world. But here we are, man. And that's cool because I have a lot of love, respect, and reverence for you. And like to see that you started this journey of life doing a completely different career. And I've kind of watched you shift and pivot your careers in the tattoo field, even though it's like the same career, you know what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So you've always been a good person to look at as hey, thanks for continuing to do it. Thanks for not giving up on yourself and your message and your mission. You know, I remember seeing you like you were one of the first dudes that I knew personally that did some viral content. And you've just what you do makes a difference, dude. So keep doing it.
I appreciate it, man. I really do appreciate it. You know, I wanted to ask you guys both one final question because we haven't really talked too much about tattooing on this interview. And you know, I've been in the industry for 31 years now. You guys been in 30 years. So how do you feel about tattooing today? How do you feel about it? What do you think about tattooing today? So it's a lot different. It's weird. It's weird for me. So I'm kind of curious to know how you guys feel about tattooing.
I honestly, and as weird as it sounds, I just keep my head down and worry about myself. My dad always said that. I don't pay attention to anyone else. Um, and I feel that it's the best thing for me because it just helps me focus on what I've done. And over the past, I don't know, I'd say probably the last 5 years, especially, I've been focused more on me and doing better than just like paying more attention and giving a shit more. And I think that's where everyone needs to be, and they need to stop worrying about what everyone else is doing. Um, that's pretty much my take on it. And I know there's a lot of things happening that are shit. There's a lot of good things that are happening. You know, obviously the technology's evolved and everything. You know, there's way better artists now. There's a lot more people that are really fucking good. But there's a lot of shit that goes along with it. So, like I said, I just kind of keep my head down and do my thing, focus on my tattoo family, my shop, our survival, and that's kind of it. It works well. At least we're successful with it. So that's my take on it.
So for me, we are very much polarity and motion a lot of the time. So part of growing up a fat kid and always wanting to please people, I always wanted to be friends with everyone. I always wanted people to love me and like me, and I always wanted to light up a room when I walked in, and I've accomplished that. That's it, and that's cool. I wanted to be fucking famous. I got that. Cool. But at this point, I love tattooing, man. I've always loved tattooing. I've always been obsessed with it. It's always been something I needed. It's like lifeblood for me. Uh, so now I've really focused on, all right, well, I got to fucking do some social media content. Cool. Let me learn how to do that in a way that works for me. So I did some stuff with John Nelson, and one of the things he said was like, make it fun. I always tell stupid jokes before we start filming so my guys can have fun. When I filmed content with him, we were laughing. My son was a year old at the time, and they put him in a costume and had him dancing on the table in one of the skits. So I realized, oh shit, you don't have to hate social media. You don't have to hate the things. If you want to be a grumpy old tat god like our dad was, you can sit in the shop and say, fuck you, I take walk-ins. That sucks. I hate sitting around wasting time. So I've learned how to navigate social media. I like money. I like working, and I like optimizing my time. Social media has helped me do that. My notoriety has helped me do that. And look, man, we lived through the 2009 fucking decline. What is that called? The fucking
Recession?
The recession, yeah. We made it through that. We were hustling our dicks off. We were sitting there in the shop working our dicks off. We made money. We made money. We made money. I know that you aren't going to die in a recession if you just want to work. So, look, I've lost Ink Master. I lost 2 marriages. I lost my leg. I've lost a relationship with my brother time and time again. I know how to lose. So at this point, I just want to focus on winning because losing is going to happen. And when you win, you're going to lose along the ride too. So for me, yeah, tattooing's changed a fucking lot. And it's really fucking cool because when I started, you couldn't fucking make a video to the song of Pink Pony Club and hold dudes' hands and dance around in a circle and laugh and have people fucking praise you for it. I'd have people want to beat me up and tell me I was fucking trying to suck their dick or whatever weird shit fucking tattoo dudes used to think. So for me, I feel like what I've been waiting for to happen finally fucking happened. There's togetherness, there's people enjoying themselves, there's collaboration, there's less fucking hate. And then you got some dudes being like, oh, well, it's fucking slow and we're not going to make any money and I can't tattoo. Bro, I love Tim Painburn to death, but we argue all the fucking time on Facebook about, you know, him saying that we're fucked and me saying, no, we're not fucked. It's a mindset thing. So to me, I've been you got to keep in mind, I've put over $100,000 in fucking personal development and coaches and fucking programs and workshops and things that I've done. So like, I might be coming from, well, I am coming from a different perspective than a lot of people. So like for me, the lens of, you know, oh, tattooing changed. Bro, every fucking industry changes.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like,
Right.
so if the guys that built cars were like, oh, the industry changed, we can't do this, would have done that every time. Like, bro, electric cars came out. You didn't think there was fucking mad problems on, you know, on the underside behind the scenes with the dudes that were making gas cars thinking electric cars were going to take over? Look, there's room for every fucking thing, just the way I didn't think there was room for us in the same industry. But like, that was stupid of me. So there's room for all of us. The ones that don't want to be here, I'm sorry that you feel like you can't be here anymore, but that's a choice you made, whether you believe that or not. And my choice is, fuck you, I'm not going to stop. But I've had to be that every step of the way. And losing my leg, man, that has made me so much tougher. Like, I take tattoos better. I fucking do better at the gym. I wakeboard better. I think I do everything better since I lost my leg because I realized, fuck, you can lose a part of yourself and actually still be amazing. And like, that's helped me fucking discover how much more amazing I really am than not. So unfortunately for some of the fucking circumstances, but fortunately for me, I've been through a lot of really hard shit lately. And fuck you if you think you're going to take tattooing from me. Like, if I go to prison, I'm tattooing in there and I'm going to be top dog. If we hit a zombie apocalypse and we got to go underground, I'm going to be tattooing there and fucking that's my corner of the fucking world because people need tattoo therapy when zombies trying to eat their face, right? So like, the way I look at it, no matter where the fuck I go, I'm taking tattooing with me and I'm going to do a fucking amazing job at it. And I decided a bunch of years ago, I don't want a tattoo for a fucking job anymore. I want to do it because I love it. And I am now so close to just making my fucking, you know, my wealth, make more wealth for me in real estate and other investments, optimizing my time with tattooing. Bro, I'm making more money now per tattoo than I ever have in my career. Like, we went on a fucking cruise. Donna sold me a tattoo for $7,000. It took me 7.5 hours to do. But like, where the fuck else are you gonna have Robbie Ripoll on this specific cruise ship in the middle of the fucking ocean doing your fucking tattoo? So you pay for that fucking experience. So like, we've gotten really creative with where we find our money. And I've gotten really creative in how I market myself. So to those who think that we're in a recession and we can't make money, that's silly. Because there's people still buying Rolls Royces. There's people still buying multi-million-dollar fucking mansions. There's people still doing ridiculous fucking things with ridiculous fucking money. So if you think they're doing it, why can't I do this to this level? I think you're going to make it way better in the grand scheme of things. And that's what I've been doing. So if I'm like, fuck, this sucks, I can't do this. Nope, that's not true. I can do this. I have done this. I fucking lost my leg and, you know, a couple of years later was leg pressing 1,000 fucking pounds. So like, I can do any fucking thing at this point.
Yeah.
So fuck your worries about the tattoo industry. Obviously, your life ain't been hard enough, bitch, and you need to fucking straighten up and fucking learn how to deal with some shit. Love you. Rad movement, fuck you though if you're gonna be a pussy about it, because nobody's coming to arrest you other than you. If you fucking jump in and you can't swim and there ain't nobody around to save you, figure out how to fuck get out of the water. You know what I'm saying? So
Just you.
I've been doing a lot of getting the fuck out of the water and not knowing how to swim.
I love it. I love that perspective. Both of your perspectives on that. It's great. I love that. So thank you for that. And hey, I know you guys are both hella busy and you got a lot of shit going on in life. And I really thank you for taking the time out to talk to me.
Thank you.
Spend some time with me today. And give some plugs, where can people find you guys? Talk about whatever you want to talk about. Where do you want to point people to that are listening?
So my tattoo studio is Radding, Florida on the social medias. The Rad movement is the motivational platform on YouTube, on all the social medias. And I think there's more.
All my handles are the same. Everything I have is at Jayvo Scott, except for my shop is True Tattoo.
And where are you guys at in Florida, just for people listening if they want to come check you out?
Melbourne, Florida.
Melbourne, Florida. We're both in Melbourne,
Right in Brevard County.
And
it's like right in the middle of the state, but on the East Coast.
And the way you spell Jayvo is Jayvo. And I am Robbie Ripoll. That's where you find my social medias. That has links to everything else in my world. That's RBBIERIP as in Peter, OLL. Not I. No O at the end. Like it's not Ripple, it's Ripoll. But yeah. And my studio is raddingflorida.com on the social on the website. So radmovement.com as well. So you can find all my things on any of the different places that you look for me.
And also the organization Driven by Heart. You can just Google that or drivenbyheart.com.
Yeah, it's actually .org. I pulled it up. I've been looking at it. Yeah.
It's funny when I said it.
Well, I went to Driven.
.com earlier. I was like, why is it not .org? I imagine it would
I went to drivenbyheart.com at first with some weird guy's face come up on the screen, and I was like, I don't think this is it.
Drivenbyheart.org.
But I'm going to drop links.
See, we're in the middle of all that, like changing hands right now. So pretty shortly, I'll be announcing it on social media, like where to find it, all the stuff. And
okay. Well, I'm going to drop links to all this stuff. I'll drop links to everything, all your socials, everything in the podcast episode and all that, so everybody will be able to find it there too.
And Rob, if you feel like at any point in time you get in your head, you're like, I should hit up Jayvo and let him know that he needs to do more social media stuff and share his story wider. Tell him, any of the viewers, tell him, because he gets real fucking weird about sharing his shit. He's always been the more fucking introverted one. And I'm like, let's do all the things in front of everybody.
I get it, bro. It's tough to be vulnerable, man. It sucks, dude.
But he understands the value. I know you do, the value of what sharing his story on his platforms is about. And I'm just excited that we're finally doing this together. And like the last time we did this, we didn't even know what we're doing. And we don't really know what we're doing now. We have goals and we have a plan. And so thanks for being a part of our plan and our goals, Rob. Seriously, this is the first interview that we're doing together. We did some social media content for us where he was heckling me during some of my Rad movement stuff, which is so authentic to our relationship, but really it gave me the opportunity to explain the Rad movement a little deeper. And it gave us the opportunity to start working together in that aspect. So when that stuff gets finished with my cameraman, we'll go ahead and be able to share that stuff. So you'll be seeing us doing more. So this is the first thing that the people are going to see us doing aside from our posts, last month. And man, I just can't wait to see the snowball effect that the good work we're doing in our own lives and sharing it with the world is going to bring. So thank you everyone that's been a part of this at any point to this journey, being a part of this at any point to this point. Thank you, Rob, for being receptive and following through on your side and, giving us that push to get this moving. Yeah, man, you're fucking awesome, dude. I really appreciate you.
Well, I appreciate you guys giving me the opportunity to be the first one to have you guys on. an interview together. So that's awesome. That has a lot of deep meaning to me too, man. So I really appreciate you guys, like I said, taking the time out of your crazy lives to spend, 2 hours now with me. And it's great to catch up with you guys always. And like I said, Jayvo, whatever you need, man, support wise, don't be a stranger, reach out. I got you, bro.
Awesome.
Robbie, the same things always applies to you too, man. Family forever, guys. I love you guys. I'm so glad to see you back together. I love the energy that you guys are putting out. I love your energy together even more. So, I'm all behind everything.
Dude, I tell you what, it's really weird watching ourselves on this camera because I'm just seeing like how similar truly we are physically. It's really fucking weird, like our facial structures, our stature, our mannerisms. Dude, the way you and Mia were laying on the couch the other day, I find myself laying on the couch the same exact way because we like just melt into the couch. It's really weird. I don't see other people doing this. So yeah, it's cool. So thanks for allowing us just to see who we are and like what magic we bring together.
Yeah, Jayvo, tell your story, bro. Well, everybody wants to hear it.
We all do, bro.
Yeah.
And you only, you never know how much time you have left to tell it, bro. So
It's true. This is very true.
All right,
I love
Rob,
you guys.
Thanks, man.
thank you so much. Love the shit out of you, dog.
Thanks, guys.
All right, man. Take care.